Hey, welcome back to Homeschool Wherever. My name is Sognonvi, and in today's video, I am going to share with you all about what our very first day of homeschool ever was like. If you're new to our channel, we are a multiracial secular family living in New York City, and we are starting homeschooling for the very first time this year. We have two daughters, one in the 3rd grade and one in the 6th grade. This channel is all about documenting our homeschooling journey, so if that sounds of interest to you, I hope you will subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Also, we are full-time family travel creators, so if you want to see that side of our lives, check out our travel channel at Top Flight Family. Okay, let's talk about what our first day of homeschool was like. Now, I have to confess that originally I had all these ideas for things that I was going to do on the first day to kind of make it special. Of course, life happens, and as it turns out, we hadn't gone grocery shopping. So on the first day of school, we were actually so low on groceries that we barely had enough to scrape together any kind of breakfast, let alone a special breakfast. So much for that, but I am definitely going to try and do something a little more special for next year's first day of school. Now, another thing I had originally planned to do was to wake up a half hour earlier than the girls. So I would have a little bit of time to just have breakfast by myself and just chill out a little bit before the day started. But as it turns out, the night before, I stayed up way past midnight editing TikToks for our travel account. And so I woke up super sleepy and kept hitting the snooze button, so that also didn't happen. But still, I took a shower, made my coffee, and had a couple minutes to myself before the girls came downstairs. Hi.
Hi. Oh no.
Very nice. I was actually planning to do that. You beat me to it. Happy first day of homeschool. Now, it was really cute because Ella, who's our youngest daughter, was super excited the night before about the first day of school. So Sean, our older one, woke up 15 minutes before her so she could get a jump on the shower. And then when she went to wake Ella up, at first Ella was like, ugh, I don't want to get up. And Sean was like, hey, it's the first day of homeschool. And Ella literally jumped out of bed. Good morning, Ella. Hi, happy first day of homeschool. So we kicked off our day with our little morning routine. And pretty soon I'm gonna come out with a whole video about what that morning routine is like. So stay tuned for more details, but for now I'll just kind of summarize what we did. So we spent 2 minutes free writing in our journals. Then we did a 10-minute mindfulness session together. So we've done mindfulness for quite a few years with the girls, but we typically have done it only before bed. But I really want them to start getting used to doing mindfulness during the day as well, as a kind of way to kind of wake up their brains and get focused and really get into that great zone to do work. So then I did a long read aloud session. So we're reading this fun YA book. So it's actually a murder mystery that is set in New York City in the 70s during the disco era. And there's a teenage girl who's the protagonist, and she's basically trying to help solve this murder. After the read alouds, we did 30 minutes of quiet reading. And this is something that we actually started implementing during quarantine. So when we were doing online public school from home, I just found that this was a really nice, cozy way to start the day. So all of us would be cuddled up on the couch, reading our individual books quietly. I just find it's a really nice way to kind of ease into the day. So one of my big homeschooling goals is to really encourage that love of reading, which I think, there's a spark of it, but we're not quite there yet. And so I'm really hoping that gradually we're going to increase the amount of quiet reading that we do so that the girls can kind of build their stamina. Then I fixed their hair and we took some first day of school pictures. After this, we had a little snack, and then we went outside to get some outdoor time. And this whole break ended up being actually way too long. I think we ended up doing like an hour. So next time I would probably keep it to about 20 to 30 minutes out in the park. But we're still tweaking our routine, but it was fun to get out and just kind of let out some energy. So then we came back and worked on some Beast Academy. And this was the very first time, of course, that the girls had used this curriculum, and they really enjoyed it. So we're starting with level 2A, and a lot of it is going to be review for Ella, who's in the 3rd grade. And definitely a lot of it is going to be review for Sean, who's in the 6th grade. So they are 3 years apart. However, I'm choosing to use the same curriculum just because I really want to firm up the foundation and make sure that we fill in all those little knowledge gaps before we move on to do more advanced math. So then we had a little bit of lunch, lunch, and then after lunch we got into language arts, and I actually completely forgot to film this part. So first we started with DART, which is part of the Brave Writer language arts curriculum, and DART kind of deals with more of the mechanics like spelling, punctuation, grammar. And then we moved into partnership writing, and this first month is all about code writing or code breaking. So it was a lot of fun. This particular lesson dealt with pictorial codes, and so the girls had fun sort of creating their own code, then writing coded messages to each other. And when they were not paying attention, I actually also wrote them each a coded message. And when I gave it to each of them, they were so delighted and surprised because they had no idea that I was secretly doing that while they were doing work. Then we spent some time on history. So even though for most of the school year, we plan on using the O Freedom curriculum. And by the way, if you want to see all of the curriculum that we're using, just check out that video. I'm going to link it down below. This month, I decided to do kind of a mini unit on the Mayans because that's going to tie in nicely to a trip that we're doing later this month. So we started by reviewing the concepts of BC and AD, since that was going to come up a lot when you're talking about pre-Columbian times, and I wanted to make sure that the girls kind of understood what that meant. And then we watched a couple of videos that gave kind of a quick overview of Mayan culture and history. So I had downloaded this free Mayan-themed word search worksheet, but as we started working on it, I realized, oh, this was way too hard and like way too many words. So that was kind of a fail. So we just kind of ditched that. And then it was time for our unit study. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much about that yet. I want it to be a little bit of a surprise, but I will be revealing more on the channel soon. However, I have been talking about it on my Instagram. So if you're not already following Homeschool Wherever on Instagram, go do that. So we watched just a quick video that was sort of an overview and an introduction to the topic of our unit study this month. So by this point, the girls were definitely fading. It had been a pretty long school day. It was around 3:30 p.m. by this point, and we had started around 8:30 a.m. So I'm definitely gonna have to tweak a few things in the schedule. But also, in case you're wondering, I am actually focusing most of our homeschool on 3 days out of the week because I do run my business full time. So I like to be able to spend the other 2 days at my office really working full time on the biz. So the other 2 days, the girls do some stuff. So Serge, my husband, supervises that, but it's much lighter on academics and rigor, and it's a little more fun. So that's why on the days that I'm teaching, we do a little bit of a longer day. However, they get a break the other 2 days. And of course, the weekends are completely off as well. Now, I do plan on doing a whole video on what our routine is, obviously once the routine is a little bit more established. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe so that you'll be notified when that video comes out. So overall, I think it was a pretty successful first day of school. The girls were pretty happy. Hi. Enjoying your screen time after school? What did you think of your first day of homeschool?
I liked it.
Yeah? What did you like about it?
I liked how fun it was to do coloring and watching the videos.
Hello. Hi. Enjoying your screen time?
Yes.
What did you think of the first day of homeschool?
It was long.
It was kind of long, wasn't it?
It was okay.
There are definitely things that need to be tweaked in terms of the routine, the schedule. I also plan to implement more hands-on activities compared to the first day, but overall, it went pretty well. Now, one pleasant surprise for me was to see how engaged Ella was when we were studying the Mayans. When we were watching the video, she asked really great questions, and she was just really engaged in the material, and it was just really good to see. Because I have to say that when the girls were doing online public school, it was not that way at all. And both of them really loved the read aloud time. And that's something that we didn't do a lot of before, but they really enjoyed it. They were coloring the whole time while I was reading aloud. So that definitely seems to work really well. So that's definitely gonna be part of our daily routine. So many of you have been super supportive in your comments and in your messages to us as a new homeschooling family. So I wanted to let you know how things were going. And of course, as always, if you guys have any ideas or suggestions for us, please leave a comment. I'm very open to it. We are brand new to this, so I'm like a sponge absorbing everything I can. So please share your wisdom. Okay, if you want to see all of the curriculum that we're going to be using this academic year, just click there and watch that video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Homeschool Wherever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.